What's up, guys? I'm back with another movie review. Today I'm here to talk about Dr. No. This is the first James Bond movie. Stars Sean Connery, obviously, as James Bond. He's dispatched to Kingston, Jamaica, when a high-ranking MI6 operative is assassinated in, like, super slick, polished fashion. Three people posing as blind men just take the dude out. And it's kind of like, hey, if they can get to somebody like this, and get away clean, like, obviously there's a lot going on down there that, MI6 needs to look into. So they send James Bond down there, and as soon as he gets there, he immediately runs into opposition. His arrival was supposed to be top secret, but obviously whatever's going on down there, whoever's running things, has eyes and ears everywhere because he's immediately discovered. Once he sorts that issue out, he meets up with a CIA agent, and the Americans are also interested in the area because there have been some interference with their rocket launches at Cape Canaveral, and it's been coming from, kind of sourced to this area. So there's a lot going on here, and James Bond has to get to the bottom of it, and that's just pretty much the plot here is James Bond has to figure everything out. So this is the first James Bond movie, but honestly, to me, it's still one of the best. I still think it holds up really well. Unlike the later movies, which would become very action-oriented and gadget-oriented, this one relies very much on James Bond as a character. It establishes a lot of his, signature elements, obviously, and it really leans on Sean Connery having the charm and charisma to kind of carry the movie, and he definitely does. I know a lot of people will prefer the more fast-paced, action-packed Bond movies, but I actually like this one. I think it's kind of a lean, pared-down James Bond, and I like it. It's heavy on, like, the espionage and manipulation, but it's not like it's ever boring or dull. The pacing is really good. Like I said, Connery's performance is great, but to me, the main reason to watch this movie is Joseph Wiseman as Dr. No. He's obviously a huge inspiration to, like, Dr. Evil and all kinds of other villainous characters over the years. He's, like, over the top, but in a super controlled way. I know it's really hard to describe, but I really like his performance. It's so strange and odd. It definitely set the bar, like, right off the bat for, like, crazy, eccentric Bond villains. I really like the dynamic between him and pretty much anybody that he talks to. He always has something weird to say to people. Obviously, Sean Connery has a lot of quips and one-liners and comebacks, innuendos. So the writing in this is really good. I think it's better than most of the movies that would follow because they kind of had things to distract you from the plot and the dialogue, whereas this one, those elements are kind of put front and center because there's not as many gadgets and explosions and car chases and such. But there are some set pieces here. They're just very limited. And the best part to me, again, is just Dr. No and his weird lab and the weird things that he does. His weird, like, magnified fish windows and stuff like that. I just think he's a really cool character. As far as whether to recommend it or not, it just depends on whether or not you like spy movies or kind of, espionage, thriller kind of things. I wouldn't really call it a thriller, but it also is almost like self-parodying at this point, because if you've seen Austin Powers or you've seen other spy movies, then a lot of this is going to be familiar. And again, it's the very first James Bond movie, but I think it holds up really, really well. And I wouldn't say it's my favorite because some of the later ones are really fun, but I think this is one of the, like, best made ones, and it's also, I think, one of the best still. That's my review of Dr. No. I think it still holds up. I think it's a really solid movie. If you're looking for a place to get into Bond, I would start at the beginning, unless you're just only interested in, like, the Daniel Craig era. If you like any of the other Bonds besides him, I would start at the beginning because they all do share a lot of traits that don't kind of shift until you get into Daniel Craig. If you want to read my full write-up of Dr. No, you can go to markfusion.com and check that out, as well as over 1,000 other movie reviews. I'm also on Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, Patreon, $5 a month, gets you exclusive content. I'm also on Letterboxd. I diary what I'm watching there, so you can get an idea of what might be coming to the channel, but I'm usually pretty backlogged, so it might take a while for some of it to make its way here. But the best way you can help me out is just to hit that sub button. Free, easy way to support me and help me to continue to make content. And also, watching the older videos is actually a huge help as well. YouTube is definitely focused in on view counts and minute counts. So if there's something that catches your eye in the old playlist, which there are hundreds and hundreds of reviews in the playlist, just checking some of those out is a massive help to me, and I would super appreciate it. Thanks for watching this video. I know it's kind of an older movie, so it probably won't get a lot of attention, but if you're a fan of James Bond, you got to go back to the beginning, and I still think Dr. No is one of the best. Thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll see you soon.